Welcome, everybody, to Spirituality Adventures. This is a non-judgmental place to explore spirituality, and we're so glad you're here. This is a viewer and listener-supported podcast, so we greatly appreciate your support. If you're watching on YouTube, be sure and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Be sure and like, share, and subscribe to any of the social media content platforms that you're using. And then if you go to our website, spiritualityadventures.com, you can make a one-time donation, or with a monthly subscription, you'll gain access to our bonus content. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome, everybody, to Spirituality Adventures. We're so glad you're here. I am excited to introduce you to Dom Chronicles.
What's up?
Dom is a local KC rap hip-hop artist, and I am so glad to introduce you to Dom. Thanks for joining us, Dom.
Yeah, no problem. Happy to be here.
Yeah. Man, you have got so much music that I kind of want to jump in and talk to you. But before we get to sort of your music and where you're at right now with your creative journey, let's talk a little bit about your background, kind of let people get to know you. Like, where were you born? Where'd you grow up?
Okay.
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I was born at KU Med, just like most of us. And I grew up in Olathe, Kansas for the better part of my life through kind of like elementary school, junior high school, and high school. I graduated out there. I went to college for a bit. When I was a kid, I was doing kid shit, skateboarding.
What high school did you graduate from?
Olathe Northwest.
Okay.
Yeah. Go Ravens,
Yeah.
But
where'd you go to? Did you do some junior college or what?
I went to JUCO for a little bit, but then I went to Benedictine first.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I
I remember
had a bunch of life stuff happen to me. Then I came back and tried to go to junior college, and I just decided it really wasn't for me.
Yeah.
And I started really trying to figure out who I was as like a musician, or like at that point it was definitely like a rapper or a lyricist, and then it all came from there, as a kid, I pretty much did everything a kid would do. I experimented with sports, played video games and skateboarded, and, that's what my music is kind of based on. It's kind of like my life influences.
Yeah, so Benedictine is this Catholic school, right?
Yeah, dude.
Did you grow up Catholic?
Hell no. Nah, I grew up pretty my grandma went to church. They would definitely get us there. I'd be in the Sunday school vibe or whatever. But nothing was really super pushed on us. It's not like I was forced to read the Bible or anything like that. But if I was with my grandma and she went to church, I had to go to church. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. But when we got of age to start kind of making decisions, I'm like, nah, I don't want to go to church this Sunday. I'd rather go to whatchamacallit's
was your
house.
grandma going to a black church? Was she going
no,
to?
she used to go to Lenexa Christian Center, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but they had this thing there. Well, we all hung out at the church on Wednesday nights anyway, because they had this thing called 180. And it was teen church and stuff like that. And they had a whole skate park set up and all kinds of stuff. So you'd go there, you'd ride the bus from there to 180, or my grandma would just take us if she was going on a Wednesday night. But we do that, and then we go on Sundays in Lenexa Christian Center. I've been saved, you know what I mean? And I've gone up to the front. I definitely went through my phase.
More than once?
I
several times?
I did twice.
Twice.
Yeah. I did.
I have some friends who say
that went up. I've never been baptized or anything. But if you feel like you need to be, I'd go up to the front. I've done it a couple times, I've given my offerings and stuff, But when I started getting old enough, I don't know. I wasn't really totally honed in on it anyway. So I just kind of started You know, just doing kid stuff, hanging out, smoking weed and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. I did some of that for sure. I had 2 phases of that actually: my young phase and my old phase. Yeah, right. At any rate. How about your so? What made you think of going to Benedictine? I'm just curious.
At that point in time, I was just going to go to where I got the most money.
Okay.
You know, like I went there because they hooked me up with some music scholarship, and of course, a lot of our like grants and stuff went through for there. So, and it was kind of close to home. Out of state tuition was out of the question. Like my parents did not want me to leave the state. And I think that kind of like, I'm not going to say it like, I feel like that's like your time to get out. You know what I mean? Like I didn't have the option to go to an out of state school, you know, because my parents didn't want to pay for it. But, you know, so I stayed close, went there, and I got like music scholarships and stuff. I was in orchestra.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when did the music thing, like, did you come from a musical family? Were your parents musical? Or when did you start?
My mom played instruments. She played like baritone and saxophone and stuff. And then I have a cousin. He's like a world-class drummer. You know, some people that sing. But, you know, some of them were just hobbies. Some of them were, you know, stuff they did in high school or whatever. But it really came from I feel like the musical selection that my parents just had. Like you know, they were just lovers of music. They bought mad CDs, you know, always listening to new stuff. You know, Best Buy was like my favorite place to go when I was a kid. I would always go with my stepdad up to Best Buy. He's always buying CDs, Jadakiss, DMX, Jay-Z, you know, like any kind of rap artist, I've heard him, you know, just because he had like, remember when people used to have binders, like of CDs?
Yeah.
It's just like 30 of those.
Wow.
Yeah. Underground stuff, you know, anything from like Master P to West Side Connection to, you know. And then my mom was the R&B person, so she had all the TLC, the Aaliyah, you know. I felt like that was like my parents' love language back in the day because they always used to get us like albums and stuff like that, you know. And for Christmas, we'd get CDs, you know, and like, you know, stuff like that. So music's just been prominent in my life for a long time.
So you played, in high school, you played what?
Violin.
Violin?
I played violin from 5th grade on up into my first year of college, yeah.
Man, wonder if you could work some violin into one of your hip hop things.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to be playing it live like that, but I can throw it on tracks. Like I'll produce, you know, and some of it because I produce
you done that?
too. Yeah.
Really? Mm-hmm. Which albums?
They're just unreleased stuff.
Okay.
I haven't put it on any of my current projects. I really just started messing around with it like a couple years ago, but like really just putting it on instrumentals because I eventually, you know, I want to just put that out too, you know, just like straight instrumental projects, like no words, or if there is kind of singing on them and stuff like that, it's not like the base of the song, you know.
Yeah.
But I have some violin playing on some of my instrumental stuff that I've been working on with my friends.
Interesting. Yeah. I think I kind of like it when people mash things together that, you know, don't normally go.
Yeah. I'm just not trying to be the violin rap guy. You know what I mean? Like I feel it, like it's dope, you know. But
there was
me.
There was a punk rock band named Yellow Card.
I've heard of Yellow Card,
Yeah.
of course.
I've gone to a couple of their live concerts before out in Lawrence and stuff. And they had this killer violinist that just rocked it, you know. And I was just like, wow, that's amazing. I grew up listening to prog rock in the 70s.
Okay.
There's a band called Kansas that I was into.
I've heard of Kansas, yeah.
And they had a violinist in their band named Robbie Steinhardt, which
are they from Kansas?
So one of the singers is from St. Joe, Missouri, and then almost 6 guys when they first started out, and then all the rest of them were like from Topeka.
Oh, okay, wow.
Yeah, so they were
from Kansas,
dude,
yeah,
except for one St. Joe, Missouri.
Yeah.
So yeah, but any rate, yeah. Well, that's fun. So so then you get out of college, all that. So what? Talk about post-college.
I just bought a bunch of recording equipment. I took out unsubsidized student loans because I knew I was about to get suspended from school. Because I went through some things in college, and, I really didn't do very well with it. And especially with, like, when I went to Benedictine, I got caught up selling weed and all kinds of shit. So I was 18 with, like, a felony, you know what I mean? So, like, just trying to figure that out and navigate through that, like, with having to move back home, parents are pissed, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I gotta work now, So I took 6, because after that, I didn't go to college for like 6 months because I was doing my case and stuff. Mm-hmm. And then I, started working, picked up a job. The only way I could get a job was like working at Sonic. And I worked at Sonic and dropped out of school and took I took $1,000 on unsubsidized loans out because I knew I was about to get suspended from school, and I just bought recording equipment. Like, I did research. I'm like, what do I want to do? And during this time, I got real privy to the internet. So, like, I was, like, on MySpace a lot because my parents wouldn't let me do shit. Like, I went to college. Imagine, like, your kid goes to college for 6 months and comes back home with a whole felony, and gets in trouble for, dealing drugs, you know what I mean? But it's like, my parents didn't let me do shit. Like, my entire trial period, I couldn't do anything. I couldn't leave the house. Wow. They wouldn't let me leave the house at all.
Wow.
Yeah, like, and I didn't have a car or anything either. At this time.
So you put this recording studio kind of in your parents' house kind of deal?
Yeah, I had a room downstairs, and so it was like me and my friend Angelo. He was my roommate at the time. He went down with me, you know what I'm saying? Brothers for life.
Yeah.
But he was from Arizona, so he lived with me during the trial process. Okay. And I just really got into, I became like really, really like, I couldn't go anywhere or do anything. So I just started like really just honing in on the internet, MySpace. That was my social connection at the point in time, because I'm like, I went off to school, from high school. And for me, my whole goal was like, I'm not trying to start a new chapter in my life and then just go right back to an old chapter. So like, I didn't talk to anybody from school. Like, there was a few people I, like, stayed in contact with from high school and stuff, but, like, I made it a goal when I left high school to never talk to these motherfuckers again. You know what I'm saying? Half of them, you know what I mean? Because I didn't, you know what I'm saying? I just didn't, there was no point, you know what I mean? Like, I was just done with all that shit.
You want to move
I wanted to move forward. Yeah,
like,
like, I didn't feel like I like really, like, the people that I have connection with from high school, I've definitely kept in contact. But like 75% of the people that I knew from high school, I do not communicate with.
Yeah.
So I just kind of stuck to myself, and I got really into the internet, and then I got into MySpace. And I learned how to design MySpace, you know what I'm saying? And doing like HTML coding. I taught myself how to HTML code, and I just played a bunch of video games and stuff like that. I started like making YouTube videos, of me playing like Skate 3 and Skate 2 and stuff, EA Skate, and like, just like talking shit or whatever. And then I started when I was in college, I used to rap in the dorm room, like just like write stuff to whatever instrumentals and stuff that were out, like mixtape style, because I liked like Lil Wayne and all those old mixtapes from back in the day. And then I started, kind of like battle rapping on MySpace, kind of like just not necessarily battle rapping, but just writing bars on like MySpace comments and stuff like that. And we had like a whole like little crew. Some people from MySpace I'm still friends with to this day on the internet.
wow.
I still ain't met them or nothing
really?
like that. It's actually a goal of mine to meet like all my MySpace friends that I'm like still cool with. You know what I mean? I've met a few, but not like a lot of them.
Are they
They're from
all,
everywhere.
like
yeah.
America or other
like
countries?
America and other countries. Yeah. But I feel like, you know, I just started gaining friends on the internet.
Yeah.
From different parts of the country and stuff like that. And I just started like, you know, making music and putting it out. I just put it out on MySpace and stuff, and you know, that's
What year was that when you first started putting music out?
2010.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's when I started that's when SoundCloud was popping.
Okay.
You know, SoundCloud and links. There was a thing called Lime Links, and what you would do is like, because people back then you had to upload the zip file. You know, all the music used to come in zip files, and then you'd have to download them to your computer and then put them on your phone because there wasn't streaming services or anything like that. So we would just like make projects and then put them in like zip folders with artwork and all that stuff, and then host them, and then people would just download them and put them on their phones.
Oh, cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is when everybody was pirating music, right?
Yeah. So, and everything was free back then.
Yeah, you could
albums were free, music was free.
Russia.
Yeah. LimeWire.
Yeah, I remember LimeWire.
You know, LimeWire is coming back as a NFT space.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they just announced it like 2 weeks ago.
Interesting. Yeah, some of those ones that got shut down, you know.
Pirate Bay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've seen a couple of them that are trying to make a comeback that actually got.
Because the name's still popular.
Right.
You can still do something with the name.
Hey.
It just might be something different.
Yeah.
Just won't be pirating.
Exactly. Yeah. So, you're like, for everybody, if you go to Dom Chronicles on any of the, you're everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, you go to Apple Music, you go to Spotify, you go to Bandcamp, you go to SoundCloud. You've got your own website, Dom Chronicles.
I'm working on it right now, so don't judge me.
DomChronicles.com.
Yep. I wanted .gov.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, just to be funny. Just to be funny.
Just to be I heard
facetious.
One of you, you're like secretly working for X-Files with the government.
Yeah.
Now, right?
God.
Well, I heard in one of your songs you said something about X-Files, and I was going, I didn't think you would be.
X-Files is like the coolest, corniest show of all time.
I used to be totally into X-Files.
Yeah.
Anyway, I like how rap and hip hop just throws in all of these random references to things, and you can like one song can have 15 different random references.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? It's
no, most definitely.
It's fun.
It's the art of it. I love it.
Mm-hmm. So, but you've got albums that you've put out now since 2014.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Your first album was called Atoms.
Yeah, that was my first like official
album.
Yeah.
You'd already been putting stuff out.
I've been putting
for
music out
3 or 4 years.
Yeah, before that, I feel like I was just kind of finding myself and figuring out what I was good at and what I really wanted to do. But Atoms was my first like. This is Dom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a full album.
It's a full length. I think it's 10 tracks.
Mm-hmm.
It's LP, my first LP.
And you just self-produced all of this?
No. That one I didn't. I hadn't started producing yet. But I did I paid for all those beats though, track outs.
Who were you working with?
Probably the most known song on there called "The Come Up." That was produced by my boy Marty Notes. I worked with a guy named Terracotta Blue on that one. He's from Michigan. I forgot what part of Michigan he's from. But there's a lot of different producers on that one. My boy Austin produced Get Focus. But, you know, it was really just through the internet. Like, I learned a lot about, I used to scour for beats on the internet. I never really waited on somebody to send me beats or something like that. So, like, I was on these, like, low-key secret Bandcamp pages and blogs and stuff. And that's how I kind of got into, like, the real producer world. Like, there's a whole world of producers out there that just produce music, and they don't put artists on their tracks or rappers on their tracks and stuff like that. And, like, just what they do, making beats, is an art. So I used to just scour the net for beats and really, like, link, you know, and talk to these artists or try to email them, be like, yo, like, I really like this or I really like that. So, like, on there, there's this dude named Obliv. He's from Richmond, Virginia. He's super dope. So I reached out to him online. I'm actually going to re-release a couple of the tracks that we did back in the day, because I've done 3 tracks with him, but a couple of them aren't on streaming platforms, you know, so I kind of want to, like, re-release some of the old stuff, like, redone, you know, because not a lot of people have heard it. But yeah, just, like, really, like, just my connections just through the internet and just really reaching out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you came after Adams, you did Free Food in 2015, Reality Makers, 2016, For the Homies,
Yeah.
2018.
Yep.
What's the 1027 2019?
1027 is our collab album with me and my boy Wes Cornell. He's from California, and that's like my brother. So
okay, because obviously Cornell West.
Yeah.
This,
I think that's where he kind of got it from.
And he flipped it.
He flipped it, yeah.
And he spelled West WHEST.
Yeah.
I noticed that, but because I've heard Cornell West many times.
Yeah.
He's a professor, educator on all things Black America, you know, kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, he flipped it because he's like, he really reps, like, Guatemala super hard. So, like, he's trying to, like, do that for Guatemala.
Oh,
you know?
interesting. Okay. Yeah. All right. And then your newest project was Let's Go Outside.
Yeah, Let's Go Outside. And then I dropped, like, a deluxe edition, which had, like, 4 extra tracks on it. Stuff I was experimenting with that didn't make the album.
Yeah. And then a couple of singles.
Yeah, a couple of singles.
I hear one of those today.
Yeah. Shining, cool. Look in the mirror.
Yeah, cool. So these, this is a lot of creative output here, and which, like, were you evolving through all of these? How would you describe your journey through your creative journey through these years? How have you changed? How have you evolved?
Well, I definitely know how to write better. I feel like my ear for production has grown. But they're just different parts of my life. I mean, I feel like that's what my music is. It's really just lifestyle rap. You know, and I try to take situations that happen in my life, you know, to relate to others, and hopefully people relate, you know. Because I feel like that's, I don't know, I've always just been attracted to that type of music too. You know, my favorite rapper is Currency. And, you know, he never switched up. He always rapped about just, like, you know, weed and video games, just grown kid shit, you know what I mean? You know, just the whips and stuff, and that stuff I've always been interested in too. So I took a lot of influence from him when I was first starting, and I feel like Adams was me, like, really, like, oh, okay, this is who I am, and then it's just kind of, like, from there been, like, different, you know, levels of my life experience. And I just get a little bit more open each time, because I'm not a very open guy. You know, I have a really thick shell over me, you know, and even with my music, you know, I've learned to become more than like surface. I feel like when I first started, my music was kind of surface level, and then it just gets deeper every single time with more of my ideals, things that I really believe in, you know, real personal situations, even like with heartbreak and things like that. But just, you know, I feel like every album I've ever done shows growth, not only as me as a musician, but just also me as like a human being too. Because I feel like the goal now for me is not to be the best rapper in the world, is to be, you know, the best human being that I can possibly be. And, you know, through showing my creative, like, you know, expressions, whether it be like rap, producing, DJing, or just like curating the events that I curate and stuff like that, it tells a story all within itself. So, you know, and it also inspires others to try to do the same thing. You know, like, your life is important. You know, people deserve to hear about your life experiences, or, you know, you're interesting enough. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I feel like a lot of people just don't share or show a lot of their life and stuff because they don't feel like it's interesting enough. And I've wanted always to be the person to be like, no, like, what you got going on is interesting enough, you know, no matter what it is, you know. So
yeah, that's cool. You mentioned heartache. What's some of the?
I done been through some breakups, you know.
Yeah.
You know, being an artist is not easy.
Right.
You know, especially dating. You know, people don't, or especially even just trying to be an entrepreneur in dating isn't the easiest thing. You know, because, you know, people value time spent, you know, quality time, and sometimes that has to be sacrificed in order for you to like achieve the things that you really want to achieve now. You know, like, you can wait if you want, but I'm, you know, I very much am a person that like kind of puts myself, my creative endeavors, and my family first. You know, before you know, and that's definitely ran me into some problems.
Right.
You know, so
You're a father, though.
No kids.
Okay. When you said family, I was like,
no, yeah, my family is like my brother. My brother, he's paranoid schizophrenic, so I'm very connected with, you know, his day-to-day activities. Me and my mom are like, you know, me and my dad are tight. We smoke weed together and stuff, you know, hang out, talk about, we don't even talk to each other as like father and son, because he wasn't like, my real dad wasn't present a lot in my life. It was my stepdad. But me and my real dad were just mad tight, kick it, talk about cars. He drives a Lexus too. Okay. You know, and like, we just, you know, we're just connected in that type of way. It's never been like a crazy father-son thing. But that's what I talk about with my family, because at the end of the day, like, I want to, like, you know, I like to provide, you know. I want to be that provider, you know what I mean? Yeah.
So you've gone through some breakups. You've written some about that.
Of course.
Yeah. How about your spiritual journey through all of this?
Man, it's crazy because I can go. I was on my Facebook the other day, and I hate Facebook, but you know how sometimes on your Facebook, like, shit that you said like 8 years ago will pop up. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, like, I was a lot more radical back 10 years ago when it comes, like, when you had just heard the information. I'm talking about, like, when I was in high school, I wasn't really like into it. I was just living life, you know, and just, you know, I was dancing, doing dance parties and stuff. I wasn't really like a spiritual guy, you know, like, I was, you know, dancing, listening to rap, trying to be fresh, you know what I'm saying? I was the fly guy. But I went to college, and, you know, you just start meeting different people from different walks of life, different states, different countries even. And then you start getting hit with conspiracy theories. When you're in high school, when I was in high school, I wasn't really like worried about conspiracy theories. I didn't even know what a conspiracy theory was, you know? But when I was in college, I started getting introduced to conspiracy theories. I started getting introduced to, you know, because I was at like a Bible college. You know, it was a super Catholic, you know, people went to mass, you know, kind of vibe. But then you have the people that are there that are like, you know, oh, I'm only here because of this, and this is what I believe. I'm not religious or anything. And then Ancient Aliens comes out, and then, you know, you hear about how, like, the Bible and, you know, Egyptian culture, it's almost talking about the same things, and it's the same people, you know, like, and you just kind of just start, like, really tying a lot of stuff together. And, you know, and of course, when you first do that, you go through this, like, stage of, like, yo, nothing's real, you know? I mean, like, all this stuff isn't real. It's a simulation. You
like
know,
The Matrix.
Yeah, this is The Matrix. I love that movie. The third one was terrible. Or not the third one, the fourth one.
Yeah.
Terrible movie. Never watch it again. But yeah, like, I started thinking that, like, everything's
When you
like,
say the fourth one, you mean the one that just came out like 6 5? See, I still haven't watched that one yet. It was not good.
But that's why it was free. You know what I'm saying? You can watch it on HBO Max right now.
I still need to watch it, I guess.
Yeah, watch it on HBO.
Because I own the box set upstairs.
Oh yeah, that's they should have left it there. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, you start going through this phase of, like, oh, nothing's real, everything's fake. This whole American system's fake. It's stupid. It's set up for you to fail. And you go through that stage, and then you go through this breakthrough stage after of, like, yo, like, whatever I think, that's what it is. Because I feel like we're all a collective consciousness. You know what I mean? So, like, whatever you think, that's what's happening. I've had, like, serious situations, you know, like, to where, like, literally the things that I've thought about appear in the air, you know what I mean? Not, like, necessarily right then and there, of course, but, like, you know, I believe in synchronicities, and I believe in energy. So, like, you know, above all the conspiracy, Illuminati, whatever the fuck stuff now, you know, I really just believe my spirituality now has come down to that your world is a reflection of what's inside of you. And if your insides ain't right, then the world outside of you ain't gonna be right. You feel me? So that's the conclusion that I've come to. And none of this history, I don't even think any of this history shit really even matters, because it's, like, all just, like, you know, various viewpoints of different people with opinions and biases, you know, of human experiences. So I take everything with a grain of salt, and I just let my intuition guide me these days.
Yeah. So you mentioned a couple of things. So I'm one of these guys that reads and studies and all that. But there's just, Freud had students that studied with him, and one of his students was a guy named Carl Jung. Carl Jung.
Yep, the shadow, man.
And he believed that there was a collective unconscious with human beings. And he actually coined this term synchronicity. Or I don't know if he coined it, but he was certainly somebody who actually wrote about it and expounded on it.
Yeah.
And
I like Carl Jung.
He's a fascinating psychologist and had a very strong spiritual bent to his psychology. And I found it interesting. So, like, I used to talk about divine appointments.
Yeah.
You know, which is kind of similar to synchronicity, where things align. You know, you're walking through life and you have these coincidental experiences with people, or the timing of some kind of information, or a song, or a it just can be random stuff.
And you feel it.
Yeah, but all of a sudden it goes ding, and it all clicks, and and he talked about that being like synchronicity of some kind of a spiritual connection that we all have. And so, and these things come into awareness and alignment at different points and times in our life. And he actually thought that if you got up in the morning looking for things like this, that it happened more. Yeah. Like, so you can go through your life and kind of miss out on some of that.
I'll be watching.
Yeah. But you actually, like, okay, what does today have? It might be.
Yeah. What does today have in store for me that I can, that's going to, like, shift my perspective? you know, or build my perspective or grow my perspective on something, you know?
Yeah. And for me, it's kind of a fun way. Cause the last 3 years I've gone through is a lot of dark stuff, you know, literally, you know, I wasn't like suicidal, but I was a notch above that.
Yeah.
Really just so much shame. I was just buried in self-hatred and shame and crap like that. But, you know, I'd always been one that wanted to wake up in the morning and look for the divine, look for that synchronicity, and that I'm here. While I'm here, I'm breathing. I've got some purpose, and I need to lean into that. You know?
Yeah.
So that's that. I've been doing that.
Yeah.
And just, I mean, you know, just doing the podcast, us meeting, and just things like that.
Yeah.
It's kind of, it's fun. It's fun to lean into things and see where they go.
Exactly.
You know? So one of the things that you and, I just interviewed, Nicolette Page last week.
Yeah, that's the homie.
And, you guys have done some music meditation events under the banner of Grand Rising.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's talk about that a little bit, because I found that fascinating that you're trying to help some of the urban core young people learn meditation. Yeah, meditation or any kind of like spiritual practice. And I don't even really think of it as spiritual as much as just wellness, you know, and mindfulness, you know. I don't, at this point, I don't view meditation as a spiritual practice. Like I view it as like, you know, something that's really essential to, you know, your human body, with it being such a data transmitter at all points in times. You know, like if you really think about it, from the moment you wake up, you're hit with information. Bow, 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 bow. You know, and you're giving information or giving attention to something. But I feel like everybody should take time in the day, even if it's 10 minutes, to sit and be still so you can receive information from somewhere else, you know? Some of my best ideas have come from just me, like, being one, you know, with myself. And what Nicolette does is she's like an Orisha. So she has, like, she can put you in a trance, you know, with the music that we use. And not all of them are music based, but there's definitely like the some of the musical frequencies that the people that we work with choose, like, really aids in the breath work and the meditation or the yoga. And you know, she's like real kind of like energetically ritualistic too, you know. So like with her, when we get with Nicolette, that's when we dive in deep. You know, that's when we really getting into it. She'll bring the snake. The snake, I can't remember what the snake signifies, you know, but like it looks like some voodoo shit for real, but it's not. Like it's just like, it's a combination of what you're smelling, what you're hearing, and what you're feeling. That's what throws you into like this trance, and she's guiding you visually and allowing like you know, something for you to visualize while you're doing this, to where it's like you might unlock something, or you might really see something about yourself, and you know, that you walk. Our goal is that you walk out with a better understanding of yourself. So yeah, that's a homie, bro. Yeah.
Grand Rising.
I think I've been in a mindful meditation group now for a little over a year. And it's something that when I came out of rehab, that I was like, you know, I need to lean into this, because I've got this real racing mind. Yeah. My mind goes 90 miles an hour, and it's always running forwards to the future and worrying about shit. And it's always going backwards
to the past, talking about, man, why didn't I do that,
regretting this or that or the other. And so for me, learning some mindful meditation has been all about dialing into my own thoughts and my own body, paying attention, being self-aware.
Mm-hmm.
And through that self-awareness to deal with all of the way my mind races and the way it affects me emotionally and the way, and then to center myself in those things and to begin to like do the breath work around that. And get into the now and be thankful for the moment and be grateful for the moment. I feel like I have to be racing all over the place, you know? So it's been really a learning journey for me to practice the meditation and stuff like that. And I do, for me, the self-awareness has been a big part of it, and the paying attention and not being judgmental
of yourself,
of myself. But compassionate toward myself.
Exactly. Like, I feel like, you know, facing your, you know, learning about your own cycles and learning how to, if they're bad cycles, you know, learning how to stop them and, you know, just that it's a form of self-love, you know what I mean? It's really like, you know, I feel like you studying yourself and you coming up with like, yo, like, these are things I can change. It doesn't have to be an instant thing. And just learning how to be okay with like the decisions that you've made, you know, and things like that. I mean, it just opens up a whole new level of like, you know, openness, honesty, just like you're on here talking about how it's like, yeah, I was in rehab and then, you know, but like around here, like where we live, it's like, people don't talk about like when they were going through it, you know, people don't want to show when they were going through it or talking about it, you know, just being okay with it in a sense, just actually like it helps with your own personal growth, you know, so I think that's dope.
Yeah. So that's been, and I've done some events where we do music meditation and teaching stuff. And, so that was one of the things that actually interested me about you and Nicolette and stuff is those events that you've been doing. So talk about Ground Rising a little. What are you trying to do? Grand Rising, is that an LLC?
It's definitely
what's its purpose.
It's definitely LLC. We were thinking about going the nonprofit route, but I don't think that's necessary. You feel me? Because, you know, I think what we're doing is, you know, it's worth the time and, you know, money people invest in it, you know. So, you know, with Grand Rising, what we basically wanted to do was create a safe space for people, especially urban, the urban core, to get used to, you know, different types of practices that necessarily weren't taught to them, you know, when we were kids. Like, I know my parents didn't tell me about meditation, or like I wasn't as a kid I mean, I did for fun, you know, because I'd see it on TV and I'm like, oh, you know, but like actually really doing it, you know, I actually believe that like, you know, the practices that we're doing should be available to the youth, you know, like I think you know, schools should have silent, you know, time, you know, and to sit and, you know, breathing time, you know what I mean? Like, I think, you know, schools should have this, you know.
And there's a way to do it that, because there's so much science behind the meditation, breathing, breath work. You can tie it into free flow journaling and different things like that.
Exactly.
And it doesn't have to be tied to any one religion or any set of doctrine or anything like that.
I feel like we just naturally do that because of like, you know, Buddhist or, you know, Hindu religions and stuff like that. But it's not even tied to, I don't think meditation is a religious thing. You know, I think it's like it's a personal practice.
Well, it's definitely good for you. And then I thought it was interesting. You said some of your more creative moments and thoughts have come out of those kind of times. So I think that's that whole self-awareness, call it spirituality, connection. I like to say spirituality is connection with self and others and something greater.
And source.
Yeah.
I call it source.
Yes, that's a good way.
Yeah.
Something, source. And that spirituality is where creativity flows, I think. I think they're the same stream.
Yeah. And one of the goals of that is to connect people too. Is definitely you get with us, you develop more of a connection to yourself, but you also develop more of a connection to the people around you, because now you have other people around you that are like, oh, I'm interested in this too.
Right.
I'm interested in, whether it's to become more holistic or, or whether it's to, to become more, one and channeled with yourself. I feel like all things are easier to achieve when you're with people trying to achieve the same thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, that other person, whoever people that you meet at Grand Rising might help you find those things about yourself or, about what you're trying to do. And you can team up with them and help bring change too. But that's, the goal of it all is to, to become a unit, in a collective mind, and to, just kind of like raise the vibration of whatever space that we're at.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So right now you're doing events.
Yeah. Right now we're really event based, and we teamed up with Paradise Garden Club down in the Crossroads, and we have a couple other offers and things that we want to explore too, as far as like locations, and that's what we're getting into. But we definitely have Paradise Garden Club as an event space. We've also done nature walks, so we'll go up and do the Parkville Nature Sanctuary, and and get together. We'll play the music on our, we'll carry the music, and we just talk and have like a, intention time where people like bring notebooks and stuff like that. Yeah. We'll walk for a while, then people just kind of sit and scatter, and then it's like, yo, write some goals down that you want to, and we all talk about them.
I know about that next time.
Yeah.
Are you posting that on your
I post
Instagram
them on mine, but
or?
we post them on the Grand Rising page too.
So is it Instagram Grand Rising?
Yeah, Grand Rising HQ.
Grand Rising HQ.
Yep.
Okay.
HQ for headquarters.
Okay. And then your page is what? What's your Instagram?
Dom Chronicles.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have them all. Like everything, all my endeavors I have on my bio too. So
okay.
They're easy to find.
You can link to all those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Very cool.
I'm trying to get a 3K popping.
Yeah?
Yeah, 1.5 miles. That ain't nothing, you know what I'm saying? A little 3K with the yoga at the end.
Yeah.
Sweaty yoga, you know what I'm saying? Like, you done running, you're a little bit out of breath, might take, come join us for the yoga after. I want to do it at the riverfront.
Who does your yoga?
Right now, our homie Dominic, he goes by Sun's Treasure. Okay. And then Andrea Freemeyer just did our breath work, and then we have some in-house people, like our friend Sita. She also does a thing called Open Sessions, so we're gonna probably team up together and do stuff with her, and she's featured on our stuff too. But that's the thing with us, is that we're open to collaboration, and our thing is to collaborate with the practitioners.
Yeah.
And whatever else they do.
Right.
So
no, I love that.
Yeah.
It's cool. Yeah. Well, very cool. I'm doing a thing on April 10th, Sunday morning, 10 a.m. And we've got a meditation person, and then 3 musicians, and then I'm doing some teaching.
Nice.
But we're telling people to bring their journals, yoga mats, those kind of things, and yeah. So
I might have to slide.
Well, we need to. We can
collab. Yeah, we can team up on something.
We need to team up.
Yeah,
definitely. Have you ever met Calvin Arsenia?
Yeah.
So Calvin
plays the harp.
Yeah, Calvin's gonna be there.
Oh, nice.
With his harp.
Oh, he's playing harp while y'all doing it? Oh, man. See, I might have to pull up. Yep.
No, I'd love for you to meet the other folks, and we could meet some of your folks too. That'd be fun. All right, man. Well, let's do a couple of your songs here.
Okay.
Ready to do that?
Yeah, I'm with it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. We're gonna jump to So these are 2 new releases, right? Why don't you describe those real quick?
First song I'll probably do is called Look in the Mirror. And it's a song I released over the summer as kind of like a soft release. Just to kind of like play it, see people were feeling it.
Help my mostly white audience understand about looking in the mirror as a...
Oh yeah, you have to look in the mirror and be confident with yourself.
See your whiteness, man.
Well, you have to be confident in yourself too, you know what I'm saying, and know who you are. So like my thing is like, you know, look in the mirror, tell yourself that you that nigga, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, or like just like kind of look in the mirror and be like, yo, I'm that guy, you know?
Own it.
Own it.
Own it.
Own this.
Yeah, even after all the crap that I went through, I had like I had so many of my friends said, Fred, you just got to own it.
Own it.
And I was so ashamed, you know. Yeah. And it's finally like, okay, all right, I'm gonna own it. This is me. This is me.
This happened, bro. Yeah. You know, I actually I have a line in one of my newer songs. You know, I said I done did some fuck shit, but that's in the past now. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you're growing every day. People make mistakes, you know? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Learn and grow. All right. Let's move to that.
Yo, this is Dom Chronicles. This song's called Look in the Mirror, produced by my boy House Party. You're on Spirituality Adventures. Let's go. What's the word? Yeah. It's off my upcoming album. Let's go. Hey, yo. What's the word? Yeah. What up, House Party? Yup. Hey, yo. What's the word? It's the return of the pimp player hustling Mac, driving while black in the act with some shit in the back. Used to manifest better days cause we slaves to our ways. It's still fuck the government cause all they give us is scraps. Pick up the sticks and give them hands like E Honda. Got all the combos, they say learn to let your light shine. Let others follow, graduate, infatuated by status symbols since youth. Yeah, I know I don't need it, but I'ma still cop the coupe. And I know my niggas feel this. Y'all been waiting for some real shit. I treat music like the art of drug dealing. I need a milk. Quick sun don't always shine, but the weed stay rolled up. Got in tune with the infinite, the matrix reloaded, creating heaven on earth while also trying to reach the promised land. A man can't stop me from putting bands in my mama hands. She said I'm the one, she seen it in my sonogram, but sometimes I feel invisible like Hollow Man. Look in the mirror, tell yourself that you that nigga. Look in the mirror, tell yourself that you that bitch. Hey, look in the mirror, tell yourself that you the shit, and watch the world around begin to shift. Roll some piff. Look in the mirror, tell yourself that you that nigga. Look in the mirror, tell yourself that you that bitch. Look in the mirror, tell yourself that this your world, and know that life is more. As I light up the Mary Jane to help me heal the pain. Had one shorty let her go cause she ain't feel the same. But lately, baby, I've been feeling like Snoop in 02. Paid the cost to be the boss. Got some weed and rolled through. One of the loft got that, so what condo's next? Playing Contra and Mikasa's where you'll find your bitch. Recite mantra, smoking Blanca, nigga, mind your business. Rather create my own lane. We don't need y'all system in that X5. In competition with the X Drive. TV's in the back and we chillin' watching X-Files. We the aliens seen in that footage from the Pentagon. Defending mine from evil spirits, kill them 10 at a time. Score a 10 out of 10 on the dismount. Money we don't miscount. Don't lie, you know this shit bounce. Niggas sell every ounce of they soul just to get clout. Not me though, but when a nigga in doubt, look in the mirror, tell yourself that you that nigga. Look in the mirror, tell yourself that you that shit. Yeah. Look in the mirror, tell yourself that you the shit, and watch the world around begin to shift. Roll some piff. Look in the mirror, tell yourself that you that nigga. Look in the mirror, tell yourself that you that bitch. Look in the mirror, tell yourself that this your world, and know that life is more than all the diamonds and pearls. Yeah. What's the word? That's look in the mirror. Yeah. You can find that on Apple Music, Spotify, all that. Yes, sir. Yo, what's the word? Hey. Shout out Eddie Moore on the keys, too. Here he goes. Eddie Moore on the keys. Here he's like, look in the mirror, tell yourself that you that nigga. Look in the mirror, tell yourself that you that bitch. Look in the mirror, tell yourself that you the shit, and watch the world around begin to shift. Roll some piff. You feel me? It's about that inner work, you know? He really did that. Shout out Eddie Moore, Tribe Studios.
This concludes today's episode. Thanks for tuning in and listening. Remember, if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Remember to like, share, or subscribe to the social media platform that you're using. And then go to our website, spiritualityadventures.com, and make a one-time donation, or you can subscribe monthly and receive our special bonus content. Thanks so much.